Test, 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 test. Testing, testing, testing. Perfect. What's going on, team? Welcome to tonight's isolation session for December 2nd, Monday, the start of the week. Gonna give everybody 2 minutes here to start. Get ready, make sure everybody's here. Before we start, give me 1 sec. Let me open up Discord on my computer. A little late today. I kind of lost track of time when I got home. See, we had E posted trade today. I didn't even see that. Was it AUDUSD? It's perfect trade. Perfect trade. Rejection of the high, change of character, break of structure, retest. Straight into profits. A beautiful trade. Alright. Anything else? Let me see. Somebody's typing in the chat. Let's see if they want me to go over a pair. Give me 1 second. Well, we'll start off with this, right? The pairs we'll be going over in this session are the pairs that I personally trade in the morning during NYC session. The ones that you see with the red flags next to their name, right? So AU, EA, EU, ECAD, GA, GCAD, GJ, GU, US30, USDCAD, USDZAR, gold, Bitcoin, and oil. Those are the pairs that I personally trade every single day. I look at every single day. I update every single day. But if you guys have any questions about any other pair, whether or not they're on our list, just let me know, and we'll go over them. Thank you. No problem. No problem. Of course. Wrong account. Wrong account. No problem. It was a little late today. That's my bad. It was crazy. I looked at the time. Like when I first got home, it was like 5 p.m. I'm like, shit, time is going by slow. Then all of a sudden, I'm like, I was just sitting here. I'm like, yo, what time is it? It was fucking like 7:05. I'm like, damn, bro, time flew. Just gonna give everybody another minute here to join up, and then we'll start. I was rushing to come do it. Just finished a one-on-one class. That's my bad. All good. With Michael, bet. I have one on Thursday with I don't remember who I got it with. I have one on Thursday though. Just don't remember with who. Not gonna lie. And who was the one that messaged me that said I gotta hold on, I gotta look for that real quick. Oh, Albert. Me too with Albert. Yeah, I have one on Thursday with him. I think he said like 10 a.m. or some shit like that. Like, yeah, we could do that. Alright, let's get started. So once again, for the new people watching, you know, and I would like to say this to the people who are watching the recording. I know there's a few of you guys. If you guys have any questions, or again, for the people recording, if you guys have any questions, always feel free to hit me up. You know, don't feel nervous about it. You're not a bother. Again, we do these sessions for you guys. You know, we're here for you guys to ask questions, you know, for us to teach you. If you guys have any questions at all, you know, just message me, be like, hey, I had a question about, you know, whatever your question was about. You know, it'd be a lot easier too if you had a timestamp, right? If you go and you look, like, for example, oh, you know, in 4 minutes 30 seconds, you know, the conversation about, you know, etc., etc. That'll be easier when we do the one-on-one session, and we don't have to sit here, you know, 15 minutes trying to look for what it was that we were talking about and try to explain it. So, you know, again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. For the people watching live as well, if you guys have any questions, just let me know in the chat. Any pairs in specific that you want me to look over, let me know. Again, the pairs we're going to go over are the ones that we said earlier, the ones with the red flag. We're going to go in order. So You know, if you have a pair that's not listed that you want me to go and look at, we'll do that at the end of the stream as well. So let's get started. So once again, every pair we trade them the exact same way, so it's going to be very repetitive, but it's the same thing we look at, right? We're going to go over the daily time frame. We're going to see where we're at, how we ended the month, right? See if we have any continuations. We'll go to the 4-hour, you know, do the same thing. Do we have any continuations? Where did we end? You know, how are we starting off the week? Do we have any continuations? Same thing with the 30-minute time frame, right? 30-minute time frame, we look at structure, 30-minute highs, 30-minute lows. Do we have any continuations? Are we trading with the trend, against the trend? And we'll do that with every single pair. So it shouldn't be too long of a class. Shouldn't take us more than 30-45 minutes to go through these. And once again, any questions, if you guys have anything that doesn't make any sense, you want me to go over again, just let me know. So AU, we know we're in A2. We're in the second zone of consolidation, looking for that third and final push to the bottom. Once again, this is a pair that we know we're still following the trend, right? We're still downtrending. We're still making lower lows and lower highs. Only thing right now, we have this gap at the top, right? So are we going to try to go back to the mid zone of this zone of consolidation to then return back to the bottom? Does price want to just continue to go short? That's pretty much what price is going to let us know now. Let me delete some of these drawings that I have here. I have to get back in the habit of putting these in their folders, so then it's easier. I'll just have like a one-on-one folder, so I don't have to have this all on the screen at once, but I just got to get back in the habit of doing that. So AU, we know we have 2 months of drop. This month for December, we're expecting price to give us a new low, right? We did get a new low with the wick today. Price started going back up, so at this point, we'll love to see continuations. For the new week, we said we would update this today since price was pretty close, right? We finished 7 pips under, so we're still good. We got a week of drop. Still trading between the same 4-hour lows and 4-hour highs, right? Lower low, lower high, lower low. Right? Technically, we can move this box down here. It's not a closure, but the lowest wick, right? We know this is where price has tapped, rejected, went back, tapped, rejected, went back up, and we're right back at these lows again. So we'll love to see price start breaking these lows to continue going short for AU. And what we talked about in the weekly market breakdown, right, this weekend. We were talking about this area. Once we get that break, which was the trade that was posted today in the Discord, if I'm not mistaken. Let's go look. Phenom posted looking for potential buys on EURJPY. We don't have that, but we'll add that here, and we'll go through that. Potential buys, good or bad idea. Also AUDCAD and CHFJPY. Okay, so AUDCAD, CHFJPY. Okay, well, I'll do that one next. All right, I got you, Phenom. Right, so in the 30-minute time frame, we know that we're trading lower low, lower high, lower low. We've been in the zone, came to the top, respected the 800 EMA, started giving us lower low, lower high, lower low, gave us a nice retest for price to continue. Right, this was a beautiful trade for today, and this was smack right in the end of London going into NYC. So this was a really good trade. Right now for AU at this point, we're back at these lows. Once again, we'd love to see price continue, but I want to see these lows being broken first. Let's keep going. Going to be looking for the picture perfect trade, right? That pair that looks the best. Right, we'll let these pairs set up. We have a few pairs this week, well, last week, that gave us nice setups, right? Like GU finally closed the gap at the lows. We know a pair like EU, for example, right, or vice versa. There's a pair that hasn't closed the gap at the bottom yet. What word overall uptrend? I think it is EU, right? So we have a few pairs. We'll go through them. We'll go one by one, right? So let's go back. CHFJPY. This is a pair that's in the Discord, right? So he's looking for potential buys, good or bad idea. Right, let's start from the top to the bottom. So CHFJPY, we know this is one that was in peak high territory, right? Very similar structure to all the other pairs that are in peak high territory, right? US30, Gold, GJ, kind of just faking traders out, right? So at this point, you know, we could say we have a change of character in the daily time frame, trading between this high and this low now. Right, we had lower low, lower high, and then price started pushing back down. So I would be looking into these lows here, if price gives us a nice break of structure, that we could continue to see price break below, right? Or if we start seeing price reject these lows, then we'll see something like this to continue and give us a pullback, right, to somewhere in this area. Right, just putting all the pieces together, that's what we can see right now. So just off the bat in the daily time frame, I could say that, you know, these buys in this area is not bad. However, again, you'll be trading pretty much against just market structure, right? Trends. Trading lower low, lower high. We're in a lower low, so technically speaking, could you look for buys here to get into a lower high? You could do that. In the 4-hour, we're trading, right? Last time I updated this, we were trading higher high, higher low, higher high. Then these lows broke here, so we're trading between this same thing as the daily time frame. Right, we're trading between this 4-hour low and this 4-hour high. Right, so we had a lower low, right, lower high, and then looking to see it, does price want to give us a lower low, right? If price continues this trend, we know we're gonna make a lower low, and that's pretty much what we're waiting for here in this break of structure line in the daily time frame, is to give us that confirmation of that break of structure. Right, in the 30-minute time frame, again, we're trading in the lower low. So once again, at this point, you know, could you be looking for buys here? You just gotta wait for the confirmations. Right, pretty much again, this would be a buy, trading lower lows going into the lower high, right, to continue going short. Or this is where price is, you know, gonna continue to break, give us a higher high, higher low to continue, right? But we'll get to that when we get there. So to just pretty much answer that question from the Discord, is this a good pair to keep an eye on for buys? Again, it could happen. It is a good possibility, but just be aware of market structure. That's all that really is. Right, so EA, daily time frame, we know we're in V2. We're in the second zone of consolidation, looking for that third and final push to the top side. We're at the low of the zone of consolidation. This is going to be our safety trade. We have no continuations in the daily time frame. However, we could still see price making lower lows and lower highs. In the 4-hour time frame, same thing. We could still see lower low, lower high, lower low. Internally, we could still see that as well. Lower low, lower high, lower low. We still don't have any continuations. Right now, price is just moving. Right, and then the 30-minute time frame, once again, in the lower lows, we had to make a lower high. We made the lower high, and price started giving us internal lower lows and lower highs. Even gave us a 30-minute change of character. Right, we went from higher high, higher low, higher high to lower low. So at this moment, we just gotta be patient. Why? Because if you're looking at this as the internal time frame, right, a lot of people are already looking, oh, we're gonna get into these buys, right? But if you look at external, this is where a lot of people are getting in, going short, because again, we're trading lower low, lower high, lower low. Right, so just gotta be careful when you're looking at structure. You don't want to get faked out, right? Being able to see, okay, where's the inducements happening, why they could be happening here, you know, all of that, putting it all together. Like, okay, we still know that the 4-hour time frame is still in a downtrend. The daily time frame is still in a downtrend. Right, the 30-minute is still in a downtrend. Right, I'm not gonna be putting myself in a position where, oh, I want to be looking for buys when everything is downtrending. It doesn't make any sense. Alright, so I'll give this one a little bit more time to develop. Once we start making clear higher highs and higher lows, then I'll start taking those trades. But as of right now, just going to be patient with this pair, and we're good. Once we get that change of character, once we get the break of structure, the same way we had down here, the same way we had down here, right, same way we had down here, that's when I'll start taking trades. But as of right now, just going to wait it out. Sorry, I didn't have the chat up. Any questions? No. Let me pull up Discord. Discord, no questions? No, okay. Next one was AUDCAD, right? And then EUROJPY. So AUDCAD, I'll have to come back to that. We'll do that at the end of the stream. And then EUROJPY, I'll go through it now when we pass the EA pairs. Or the Euro pairs. So EA, we're good. No continuations. You're just going to be looking for something simple. What's good, Wade? Welcome to the stream, my brother. Appreciate you being here. Any questions, let me know. Euro USD, we're in V1, first zone of consolidation, looking for that second push to the top side. Once again, we're at the bottom of the zone of consolidation. This is going to be our safety trade. So very similar to EA, right? EU, we know we're at these lows. At this moment, what I'm looking for is a change of character, break of structure to take these trades from the safety trade at the lows of the zone of consolidation to go back up to the top side, right? So right now, just off the bat, we have 2 months of drop. Price is still giving us lower lows and lower highs. We could still see price giving us internal lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, gave us that push to the bottom. And again, we could see that in the lower time frames, right? We go to the 4 hour, we could see that a lot more clear. Lower low, lower high, lower low, right? And then internally, same thing. No continuations. We have a week of rise. Actually, let's see. We have to update this. Could be a no net. No. Okay. We have a week of rise. And in the 30-minute time frame, last week, price gave us a gap here at the bottom of the market. Price still hasn't filled this gap up. We know that price has to eventually come back down and fill this gap up, right? Every time we have gaps like this, like we have one today when the market opened, right? You got to ask yourself to, not even ask yourself to question, but is more of anticipating, but leaving the question in your head of when is the gap going to be filled, right? And have the understanding that, again, the gap doesn't have to be filled the same day, the same week, the same month. It could take a couple of weeks. It could take 2 months, 3 months, right? And we saw that happen all year, especially with oil, especially with gold, right? Especially with US30, where these gaps are being formed and it's taking weeks, sometimes even months before they fill these gaps up. So with that being said, understanding that these are just points of interest to also have a more clear view as to where price is going to give us a pullback, that's also very important when it comes to the gaps. So at this moment for EU, I'm going to treat EU the same way I treated GU, the same way I treated AU, the same way I treat any other trade or any other pair that has gaps in the market going opposite of their trends, right? I like to wait for price to fill these gaps up first and then start looking for entries. So the best case scenario for us would be, let's say price just continues to drop and give us lower lows, lower highs. Once price fills this gap up, once we start seeing that change of character, break of structure, we already know we can start taking these trades, right? And we already know that for sure price is going to fill these gaps up to the top side. So that's kind of where I'm at with EU. Right now is more of a waiting game. I'm not going to force any trades. This is a pair that I'm going to continue to look at every day when I'm on the charts, but I'm not going to trade it until we fill those gaps up. Once we fill that gap up at the bottom, when price starts giving me higher highs and higher lows, that's when I'll start taking a trade again. But as of right now, I'm just going to sit back and look for another pair, right? And that goes to answer the question that we had on sorry, I'm cold, bro. It's cold over here. You already know my AC in the house is also cold, so my window's open, got a breeze going. I'm shivering over here. It goes to answer the question that not only did I get on Sunday, but I get this question a lot, which is, you know, why do I look at so many pairs? If you're married to one pair and that one pair isn't moving how you like it to move, a lot of people get impatient, they overtrade, or they trade when they're not supposed to because they're just looking at one pair. But if you give yourself, you know, we're not going to say 20 pairs, but let's say you give yourself a handful of pairs, right? 5 or 4 pairs to look at. You know, if one pair isn't looking good, you could just go to the next one and look for your setup on the next pair. And if that one doesn't look good, you could go to the next one and look for your setup on that one, right? So it's not a bad thing to keep an eye on multiple pairs. So let's go to the next one. EURCAD. We are in V1. We're in the first zone of consolidation, looking for that second push to the top side. We still haven't gotten a clean break of these highs. Price was just testing every single time and going back down, right? So we still don't have a break of structure. So this pullback could be a steep pullback right back down to the lows. And again, that example that I always give is the USDCAD example, right? How long were we in the zone of consolidation for? Rejecting highs, rejecting lows, highs, lows, highs, lows, highs, lows, until we got the break, right? We were in the zone of consolidation since 2022, October of 2022. So putting that in perspective, like, okay, yes, we're in the zone of consolidation, But without this break of structure, price could just continue to ping pong from the top and the bottom the entire time. So again, at this point for EURCAD, we have no continuations. We have a monthly drop. We had a little zone of consolidation at the top in the lower time frame. Price broke the lows, gave us a retest, and just continued to make lower lows and lower highs. This is another pair very similar to EU that has gaps at the bottom and the top of the market. So regardless, right now this is still a pair that I'm taking a step back from. I'm not really trading it. Once we fill these gaps at the bottom, that's when I'll start taking a trade to go back up to the top side. And again, very similar to EU, right? Best case scenario for ECAD, we just zoom in the 30-minute time frame and just look at structure, right? Best case scenario would be price, and I'll keep these drawings on the screen for tomorrow and tomorrow's morning session, right? It's for price to break these lows and just continue, right? Break these lows and then just continue, right? Break these lows and then close this gap. And then this is when I want to start seeing the change of character, the break of structure, and then start taking trades from here, going back to the top side. And again, this is a Mona Lisa type of structure that I would like to see. Obviously, we could get other days where price is moving sideways and just consolidate for a few more days, or we could get a day of drop, then price goes back to the top side and then goes back down to the bottom. It's not going to be this crystal clear, but this is an idea of what I want to see, right? And then on the other hand, what if price doesn't do this? Well, we already know that if price respects these lows, then we'll continue to see price break and we'll get a closure of this gap. But in order for price to continue, right, we need to see price break these highs, because if not, then price is just going to be stuck in the zone of consolidation like we have been in the last 4 days, right? So change this to yellow, and then I'll change the opacity so it's not in the way. But I'll keep this on the screen. We'll come back to this tomorrow and we'll see how this looks. EURJPY. Oh, this is a pair from the Discord, right? You said looking for potential buys on EURJPY at 155. Good or bad idea? So we'll do the same thing with EJ, right? We know that EJ very similar to that CHF-JPY pair, right? All these JPY pairs are really similar how they look, right? Very similar to GJ, very similar to UJ. These pairs are kind of in the same area, where daily time frame we're still making, right? The trend is higher high, higher low, higher high. Let's change this to gray, right? So in the daily time frame, we know we're trading between this low and this high. In the 4-hour time frame, we're trading higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low, right? So in the 4-hour time frame, we know we're trading between this low and this high. And again, the 4-hour structure, we had higher high, higher low, higher high, change of character, right? And then price gave us a lower low. So we're trading between this low, right, and this high. You can see I haven't updated this chart since August of this year, so haven't really been trading EURJPY. I haven't really been looking at EURJPY. It's never really been a pair on my list, right? So once again, in the 4-hour time frame, we know that this push to the top side was just a pullback, right? This is a lower high. So once again, very similar to the other pair, at this point, are we going to continue to just respect the lower high and continue to make lower lows up until we get to the 4-hour low, which is the blue box? Or have we reached a point where right now we're trading in a lower low, right? In the 30-minute time frame, we're trading lower low, lower high. All of this is part of the same trend. I'm not going to say that this is lower low, lower high. No, I'm just going to say all of this is part of the same trend, right? And we're trading between this 30-minute low. Right, let's change this to red so we're not confused with the colors, right? And we're trading between a 30-minute high up here and a 30-minute low. So at this point, these buys in this area, again, could they work out? Of course, because we know that if we're trading with the trend, we're looking for a lower high to be made. Right, we'll change this to green. Right, however, it's just about following structure, right? And right now for EURJPY, the only structure we really have is a 30-minute low. If price breaks these lows, then we'll continue going short. And for the longs, you know, we'll have to give it a few minutes or a few hours for price to kind of give us a high, so we could start saying, okay, if we break these highs, then we'll continue. And then if price goes to these highs and we break these highs, then we'll continue. And then the same thing with these highs over here. Right? If price breaks these highs, then we know we'll continue that push to the top side. But at this moment for EURJPY, once again, just to keep it simple, right? Just to keep the answer simple. Is it a good area to start looking for buys? Again, it could be, but you're trading right now against the trend. So the buys would be more of a pullback, right? Instead of it actually being with the trend, as you can see with the sells that we had for the last couple of weeks on EJ. So I would just be careful with that trade. I think we did all of them, right? We did EJ. Only thing we're missing is AUDCAD. Okay. Alright, so let's get through these real quick. We're already 30 minutes in. Sorry guys, I don't want to make this too long of a class. I know it's late for a lot of people, but we got to make sure we do this right. So GA daily time frame, we are in V2. We're in the second zone of consolidation, looking for that third and final push to the top side. We're at the top of the zone of consolidation, so once again, not the best spot to be looking for a trade when you're looking to go long, but we'll start looking for internal time frame. Right now we don't have any continuations in the daily time frame. We have a month of no net, price is just moving sideways. And in the lower time frame, oh, the wrong one. And in the lower time frame, the 4-hour time frame, again, we can see that we're in a zone of consolidation, right? Where right now we're just moving sideways between these highs and these lows, right? So we could already see that price rejected the lows. In the rejection of the lows, we had a change of character, we had a break of structure, we had the retest, we had 3 days of rise, we had a break above the 800 EMA, gave us a no net on the 4th day, price reset, the trend reset. Price then gave us a day of rise on Friday, and then today price gave us a no net. So failed to give us a second day of rise. However, following structure, higher high, higher low, higher high. Could this still be a valid higher low to continue into a higher high? It could be. Right? In this area, this is where you would want to start looking for your entry points. Once again, not forgetting the area that you're trading in. Right? The fact that we're not in the best spot to look for a trade in the daily time frame, we're not in the best spot to look for a trade in the 4-hour time frame, right smack in the middle of the zone of consolidation. We already know this is where market makers are collecting contracts, right? Inducing traders, right? So at this point, I would want to see a little bit more confirmations before taking any trades. So I'll be waiting, right? Hopefully, the easiest trade they could give us today would be a type 2 pattern. Could they give us a type 1? They could give us a type 1 pattern, right? If they could give us a type 1 pattern, that would be a pretty good trade as well, right? Which would be price, and we'll leave these drawings up so we'll see them in the morning, right? For price to consolidate throughout London and Asia session, or Asia and London session, and then they're in NYC, we'll see something like this, right? So we'll keep this on and we'll see how this looks tomorrow morning. Could be a pretty good trade. Do we have any gaps on GA? I think GA is one of the clean pairs that we have. Yeah, this one is pretty good to keep an eye on. Daily time frame, I also want to see. This already happened. EMAs on the 4-hour are all bunched up together, but we're all going up. Yeah, so we have a lot of confirmations here. Structure is looking good. Higher time frame is looking good. 4-hour time frame is looking good. Only thing again is where we're at. Right, top of the zone of consolidation in the daily, middle of the zone of consolidation in the 4-hour. It's not the best spot, but aside from that, you know, again, just following structure. If price doesn't follow structure, then there's no trades to be taken. GBPJPY is looking good. It's definitely on my watch list for tomorrow morning. GCAD structure looks very similar to the JPY pairs. Only difference is where we're at. We know that we are in level 2. We already broke above our V1 first zone of consolidation. We got the break, right? We finally are now getting that pullback that we were looking for. We're trading between the daily higher high, higher low, this daily low, this daily high. We have a month of drop, no problem. We were trading at a higher high, we're making a higher low, right? Now that we got the higher low, we want to start seeing price shift around and start giving us that change of character, right? The higher highs and higher lows instead of lower lows and lower highs. We had 3 weeks of counter drop. After 3 weeks, price must consolidate, move sideways or give us a week of rise, and it gave us a rise. Now the only thing with this pair, again, very similar to AU and very similar to EA, are the gaps in the market. So yeah, we have a week of rise. Yeah, internally, right? Internally, we started making higher highs and higher lows. But at this moment, once again, we still have these gaps at the bottom of the market that price has to come back and fill. And the gap that we had for today was filled, and as soon as it was filled, it went right back down to the bottom. So at this point, we have a day of drop. We're still trading higher high, higher low. I didn't want to mark this as higher high, higher low, higher high, but I guess we have to at this point. Right, we had higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. We're still trading between this 30-minute low. Technically, the low is already broken here with this wick. So technically, we have a change of character, and we're trading between this 30-minute low over here. Can I grab the box, or there you go? Trading between this 30-minute low and this 30-minute highs. Right, you can see that this is one that on Sunday I drew this one out for us. It's pretty much same thing as the other pairs. If price breaks these lows, then we'll continue to go short, right? But if price respects these lows, as we can see it happened here, went to the top, and now we've just been sitting in this area since 11 a.m. right? So since this morning, we've been just sitting in this area, rejecting lows and rejecting highs. So GCAD will just be patient. Once again, I'm treating this pair like the other ones. As you can see, I did take a trade on this. Simple little type 1 pattern, right, on a 372 as well. If it's not something crystal clear, I will not be taking the trade. However, again, treating it the same way as AU and EA, right? I'm not really going to be 100% active on trading these pairs. Once we fill these gaps up, that's when I'll start taking those trades, right? So just going to keep it simple. GCAD just going to wait it out. Again, GJ structure, very similar to EJ, very similar to CHFJPY. We're still trading between the higher high and the higher low of the daily time frame, right? Internally in the 4-hour, this one did give us a lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high change of character. So once again, now could this be a higher low to make another higher high, or is price just going to continue to follow the internal structure, which we could see as lower lows and lower highs? Add a few lines here real quick. Give me 1 second. This is the 4-hour, so I need to see Sunday, 5 o'clock. Right now we just have a week of drops, so no continuations. And our 30-minute, we're still making lower lows and lower highs. We have 2 days of drop. Again, that's going counter, since we're technically still in peak high territory, right? And we have lower low, lower high, lower low. We made a lower low now. So again, just gonna be patient with these pairs. GJ, could we be expecting a third push to the bottom? Make a new low for the day. Could happen. It could happen. We don't really have any internal structure to say, oh, if price breaks these highs, or if we go down to a lower time frame, we could sit here and argue and say that this is going to be the highs. So what time frame is this? 5-minute? We'll keep a 5-minute mark here, and we'll see how this looks tomorrow. Well, in the morning. If price breaks above these highs, then I'll just be expecting price to continue the push. If not, this is where price is going to turn around and give us another push down to the bottom. GU in the daily time frame, right? We did already fill this 30-minute low, so GU is looking a lot better, a lot healthier than EU as well. But GU V1, we're in the first zone of consolidation. We got the break of structure of the zone of consolidation. Now we got the pullback. So we got the break, we got the pullback. The only thing that's missing now is that change of character and break of structure in the lower time frames. That to let us know that this is where the higher high is, or the higher low is going to be in the daily time frame, and now we're making the higher high, right? We had 2 months of drop, this month being the third month for December. Haven't made a new low. Could we expect price to continue to go lower once again? If we don't get that break of structure after the change of character, then we know price is going to continue right back down to the bottom. Right, internal time frame, we're still trading. We had lower low, lower high, lower low. Price then gave us a higher high. Right, so we're looking good. Right now we have the change of character. Only thing that's missing now is for price to give us a break of structure. Once we get that break and a pullback, then we'll be good to go. Not only that, again, connecting all the pieces to the puzzle. Last week we had a week of rise. If price gives us a second week of rise this week with a break of structure, with a pullback, then we already know we have a trade for next week. Right, to continue that push, to get that third week push to the top side. So right now for G, we're looking good. We just got to be patient, wait for price to move, and then we enter. Right, 30-minute time frame, we had lower low, lower high, lower low. Then price went up and gave us another change of character, higher high. Once again, confirmation for this pair to continue to look for entries going long is going to be once we get those breaks. Once we get this break of structure, this is when I'll start taking starting to look to take trades. Alright, hope this is making sense, guys. And again, we could do the same thing with the other pairs, right? If we break at this point these lows, right, and I'll just mark it as these lows. Right, if price breaks these lows, then we know we'll continue to push down to the bottom up until here. Right, and then price got to break these lows, and then price has to break these lows. Right, and then price has to break these lows. So we have a nice area, we have nice points of interest where we can say, okay, you know, price didn't respect these lows, right, and it just continued to break. Cool, we wait till price gets here. Once price gets here again, if price respects the lows and continues to push, then we know we could take that trade. If not, price is just going to break and continue. Same thing here, right? It's either just going to break and continue, or it's going to turn around, right, and do the same thing here. We just got to be patient. There's no more, there's nothing less. It's just about being patient. Right? Especially for the traders who are looking at it as, okay, I'm looking for buys, right? And you're getting ready for buys. How do you prepare yourself for when price gets ready to take a trade? Right? So it's all about just preparation. You know you're looking for something, okay, cool. You wait for price to do what it has to do. You don't worry about that. You just worry about what you want to see. All you want to look for is buys. Right? If you're looking along something, you got to be able to pinpoint, okay, this is where price is going to pull back to, and give yourself the reasonings why, and give yourself the reasonings as to why not. Right? Why wouldn't price reach all the way down here? Well, before price reaches these lows, it has to break these lows. Price has to break these lows. Right? Could this be the retest once again? Because you got to look at the whole picture. Could this be the retest? Right? And if I drew a straighter line, technically we got the retest already. So could this be the retest as to where price is just gonna retest these break of structures of the highs to then continue? It could be that as well. So we just gotta wait for the confirmations, right? The confirmations are gonna be once we see higher highs and higher lows, and right now we still see lower lows and lower highs. So let's keep it simple. And again, a lot of these pairs, market just opened. A lot of these pairs, for the most part, we gotta wait for the market to kind of just breathe, right? Start making structure, and then we start taking a trade. Sometimes it's too early to take a trade, and right now for a lot of these pairs, we just gotta wait till NYC session. NYC session will tell us a lot more. We're almost done here, guys. We're only missing about 5 more pairs. Gonna go through these pretty quick. We're already almost an hour into this. If you guys have any questions in the chat, let me know. If not, once again, I'll probably just speed run through these. These are pretty much the fast pairs already. So US30, we're in peak high territory, still making higher highs and higher lows. Really not much to say here, right? 4-hour time frame, still making higher highs and higher lows. We have 2 weeks of rise, this week being the 3rd week. Price already gave us that 3rd week high. Not only that, we also had a 30-minute gap, right? So this week already started, already gave us a new weekly high, already gave us that closure of the gap. And as soon as that gap was closed, we started making downtrends. Pretty sure we go down to the 1 minute. Our price just kind of melted today, huh? Didn't really give us any opportunities here. Right, kind of just gave us a change of character, and price already hit STP by the time we got a pullback. So this was, you know, if you caught this trade, you know, perfect. personally for me, I didn't see any clear structure to take any of these trades today, so just sat out. And right, the same thing we were drawing up on Sunday's class. This is exactly what price is doing. Right at this moment, I just still gotta wait for a break. If we get a break of these lows, then we'll continue to see price push down to the bottom. If not, if we reject these lows or respect these lows, then this is where we'll see price go back up to the top side. And once again, this is a gap very similar to the other ones. We still have gaps here at the bottom of the market, and we have a lot of them too. Right, so with that being said, once again, once I start seeing a change of character and a break of structure going short, we already know the point of interest as to where price wants to pull back to before we could continue. So again, right now we know we're trading in a higher high, so once price starts giving us that push down to the bottom, to the higher low, wherever that higher low wants to be, we'll take those trades back down to the bottom. So next one, USDCAD, we are in V2. We're in the second zone of consolidation. We had the break. We still haven't gotten a retest of the break, but we got a nice push. We have 2 months of rise this month, December being the third month. Price already gave us that push to the top side with that opening candle. And if I'm not mistaken, no, did not give us a nice engulfing candle. Not a valid engulfing candle. Still making higher highs and higher lows, gave us a higher low here in the 4-hour time frame. Could we continue the push to the top side? Very possible. 30-minute, we got a change of character higher high, and we're still trading between that change of character higher high and the higher low that we were in. So again, our confirmation that price will continue will be after the break of structure. Obviously, this is a very big range that we're in, from where the change of character happened to where the BOS has to happen. So at this point internally, once we start making those change of characters and break of structures like we are doing right now, right, lower low, lower low, change of character, higher high, higher low, break of structure, higher high, higher low, right? This would be an ideal position to start looking for entries on USDCAD. This structure would be in the 5-minute time frame. You had lower low, lower high, change of character, right, higher high, break of structure, again a valid break of structure. I'm not going to count any of these. All of these were testing candles, right? We had a testing candle and then the break of structure happened. Right, we got the pullback and we're right on that retest. So we know that we're trading between this 5-minute low over here, just internal time frame structure, right? Just to keep it simple, we'll add these lines as well so we can know where the lows are, where the highs are, and we know where we're trading. Right, and at this moment, we can see that we're pretty much on a nice little retest. So this could be a good pair to keep an eye on for a continuation back to the top side. We could take this a step further and go into the 1 minute, but we're not going to do that here. But I just curious as to what this looks like. Got to break a change of character. So USDCAD definitely on my watch list for tomorrow morning. So we have what, GCAD and USDCAD that look the best. We'll go through these again and we'll put them on the watch list. USDs are very similar to USDCAD. Only difference is that we're in V2 at the bottom of the zone of consolidation. We have 2 months of rise. We have the third push already with the wick. That wick gave us that third push. 4-hour time frame, we have the 4-hour change of character higher high, and we're pretty much in a little zone of consolidation here in the 4-hour time frame. Right, so this one is just keeping it simple. If price rejects the lows, we'll go back to the highs. If price rejects the highs, we'll go back down to the low. And we still have this gap here at the bottom of the market as well for USDR. So again, very similar to the other pairs with these gaps. I'm not 100% going to be active on these type of pairs. Right, I want to see price give me a pullback to close this gap and then continue to push to the top side. That would be the most ideal situation that we could have. Gold, we're making higher high, higher low, higher high, right? Daily time frame, higher high, higher low, higher high. Then price went down and gave us a change of character, lower low. Price went up, gave us a lower high. Right, no continuations. We just have a month of drop. In the 4-hour time frame, we had a higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low change of character, right? Not only that, we also had the shoulder, head, shoulder in the downtrend pattern, gave us the break, gave us a retest, gave us a break of structure, right? Price gave us a retest and gave us that push down to the bottom, right? Then price now is giving us a pullback. In this pullback, we had a little 4-hour change of character, but then price started rejecting and started going short, right? Gave us a weaker drop, and then internally, this is where price again gave us higher high, higher low, higher high, change of character, lower low, lower high, break of structure, lower low, and then gave us a pullback, right? These pullbacks, we had 4-hour engulfing candles, we had daily engulfing candles, we had, you know, the 50% fib retracement, we also had the previous retest of the break of structure, right? Let me put the opacity back up on this one. All right, so we had a lot of confluence in this area for these trades, right? And then not only that, we had internal time frame, same type of trade, same type of entries that we could even see in today's Discord trade that he posted this morning on AU, right? What did we have? We had a higher high, higher low, higher high, change of character, lower low, lower high, break of structure, lower low. First red candle is a testing candle, second candle, red candle closed below the first wick, not touching the line, perfect. Gave us a retest, gave us a lower high, and then continued. This was a beautiful, beautiful trade, right? Straight into STP, right? So it goes into what we're looking at now. You know, is price going to continue this downtrend and give us the complete move to the lower low, or is price going to just ping pong in this area like we have been in the last couple of days, right? And at this point, I'm going to delete these boxes because I don't want to have too much on my screen, right? So now we just keep it simple, right? Now we start seeing, okay, cool, we know that we could take, you know, trades at the highs, rejecting the highs, going back short. Once again, same thing if we want to start looking for price to go back up. But at this moment for gold, what do I want to see? I want to see structure being made, right? We have a lower, we have a 4-hour lower low, lower high situation. Daily time frame, we have a lower low, lower high situation. 30-minute time frame, still have a lower low and lower high situation. So at this moment, I'm still going to be only looking for shorts. We know that not only that, we have these 30-minute gaps here at the bottom of the market. Once again, we'll love for price to fill these gaps up. So that's going to be the target, right? But I want to see these confirmations, and the confirmations are going to be the break of the lows, right, for price to continue, or the break of the highs to continue to push back to the top. Now for today, let's see something. Let's go back to the daily. I just want to see, do we have any engulfing candles? Right, we had that. Right, we're on that retest. On the 4-hour, we're on the retest of that engulfing candle as well. But we don't have anything current. Nothing in the 1-hour. Nothing in the 30. I'm not gonna go lower time frame than that on gold. And then for the EMAs, nothing really here on the 30-minute. We're just going to just gonna leave it like this for now. I will check back in during the NYC session. You know, we could keep this simple and, like, you know, we have a little area where at this point, if price breaks these lows, then we'll continue to see price go down, right? And if price breaks these highs, then we'll continue to see price push to the top side. So we could at least put this on gold, and then we'll come back to this tomorrow morning. Bitcoin, we are in V2. We're already making that third push to the top side, right? We had the first push, first zone, second push, second zone. Now we're looking for that third push. We had 3 months of rise. Last month was already the third month. So again, am I expecting another month or another push to the top side on gold? Not, or on Bitcoin? Not really. You know, could we be expecting price? We're still making higher high, higher low, higher high. Could we expect price to just consolidate? You know, that is something that I could see happen. That will most likely just consolidate in this area for a little bit, possibly for a week or two. Right, that could be a possibility that I'm looking at for Bitcoin as well. We have no continuations in the 4-hour. Pretty standard. In the 30-minute time frame, we had higher high, higher low, higher high, and then price went down and gave us a change of character. lower low, right? And then we could still see internally we're making lower lows and lower highs as well. So at this point for Bitcoin, again, gonna take a step back. Gonna take a step back. Could we be expecting a pullback to happen? Again, it could happen. You know, structurally speaking, we haven't gotten a retest of the daily break of structure. So could this continue this push to the top side? Of course, right? Of course. So this is gonna be one of those situations where, again, we'll put all the pieces of the puzzle together, right? And we'll start from the top, right? In the daily time frame, the break of structure retest. What type of retest could I be expecting? Well, from the lower time frame, we saw that price looking like price wants to consolidate, right? So if price consolidates in these highs in the daily time frame, what does this look like, right? It looks like a bullish flag post pattern, right? So could we be expecting price to just consolidate between 23.6 and 38.2? Absolutely. And if you notice it, it's exactly where we have our lines drawn, right? Before any of this, so everything connects. This is the good thing about having a lot of confluence, and confluence is that you know work, right? Because if one of your confluence is telling you one thing, and the other confluence is telling you the same thing, and the other confluence that you have is telling you the same thing, then you have a higher chance of understanding and knowing that this is going to be a high probability trade, right? So right now, everything that we said in the 30-minute time frame, everything that we said in the 4-hour time frame, right now here in the daily time frame, we're seeing the fib retracement. Okay, cool. This could be a perfect fib retracement, right? To continue to look for buys when price comes back down to these lows. Not only that, structure, right? Not only that, the EMAs, right? We want to see the fanning of the EMAs in level 3. In level 3, we want to see the price off. We want to see the bounce off the 50 EMA. And that's exactly where we're at. Everything is lining up to be what we want to see, right? So all about being patient. It's all good, right? We know we're trading in a higher high. In a higher high, I'm looking for a higher low. It's that simple. Once I get that higher low, that's when I'll start taking a trade, right? Very similar to this trade. We're trading in a higher high, right? We're trading in a higher high, got the higher low. In the higher low, we had the change of character, break of structure in the lower time frame to continue the push to the top side, right? In a higher high, I'm looking for a higher low. In the higher low, what did price do? Lower low, lower high, lower low, change of character, gave us a type 2 pattern, gave us a retest of the type 2 pattern, also had a gap here, gave us a closure of the gap to continue the push to the top side. It's that simple. That's what I'm looking for on every single pair. I'm looking for the exact same entry criteria on every single pair. So it's just about being patient, wait for the market to do what it has to do, and then you start looking for your entries. And then last but not least, guys, US oil, we're in A1, we're in the first zone of consolidation, looking for that second push to the bottom. Before we could get that second push, we need to see a break of structure of these lows. And again, as you can see, multiple times since 2023, we've gone to these lows, rejected, went back to the highs, rejected, went back to the highs, rejected, went back to the highs, rejected, went back to the top, right? And we've been sitting at these lows now since September of 2024. So for the last couple months, we've just been sitting at these lows. So again, not the best spot to look for a trade, but it's all good, right? Again, we'll just follow structure. We'll start looking for trades when price gives us the opportunity. This is another pair that we're just kind of stuck here in a 4-hour zone of consolidation. We've just been moving sideways. We've been again in this area for so long at this point. We have no continuations. We can still see internal lower lows and lower highs, but at this point, once again, trading in a lower low, not the best spot to look for a trade, right? It's not ideal. Is it possible? Of course, but is it ideal? No. There's a million other places I would rather take a trade. But that's pretty much it, guys. Any questions, let me know. Any other pairs you guys want me to go over before we go off, let me know. If not, we'll be done for the night, and we'll be back tomorrow morning. I'll let you guys know as soon as I wake up. I'll look at the charts. If there's anything that looks good, I'll let you guys know in the Discord. Make sure you guys join the Discord. The link for that is in the description. Completely free Discord, guys. Everything we do here is free. We do the free one-on-one sessions. If you guys want to request that, you can do it on the Discord. We do these free daily live streams Monday through Friday. You know, Monday through Thursday we do the isolation session. Monday through Friday we do the live trading session, and then on Sunday we do the weekly market breakdown. So once again, everything we do is free. Make sure you guys join the Discord. Any other questions before we get off, let me know. I'll give you guys a 15 seconds. Any other pairs? Anything you guys want me to explain again? If not, again, I'll let you guys know in the Discord tomorrow morning as soon as I wake up if I'll be taking any trades or not. So be on the lookout for that. Everybody's good. Let me check the Discord as well. Let me respond to Alright guys, hope you guys have a good rest of your night. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning. Peace out.